Nice. That's not a good way to start the trip. Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another video. I'm over here at the tree it's actually back there. The tree that I put my initials on back in 2022. Brandel and I sat right here and we hunted and got a little bit of action. Got some deer in here. I fell asleep and we had a bull come in and then me moving scared it away and screwed over Brandel, so that was cool. And then Brandel actually shot a cow right down here. We were tracking it back over here to our northwest. And I actually got a shot on like a 330, 340 class bull. And I hit a branch and missed him. So, coming back in here, this year I have a deer and elk tag, but they're in two separate spots. I'm going to be focusing on elk. I want an elk with my bow. That is goal number one of the year, is elk with a bow. I'm a little late actually setting trail cams. It's July 13th, I believe. July 13th. This is actually my very first time out scouting this year. And I'm going to be setting 6 trail cams today. And I have 2 that I'm going to set down in this hole. We have a good little puddle of water over here. I'll show you guys that later. And then down the way, I know elk frequently use that. So I'm going to set up 2 different cams. And I'm going to come down here and we're going to set one up over the water in here. So we'll see how this goes. There's the water. A pretty good puddle in there. But the downfall, somebody else knows about it. So now I'm in a dilemma with myself. Am I a douche if I set up my camera on the same water hole, or do I go somewhere else? I mean, I was planning on hunting here, and this person has their camera set up right here as well, but there's places where there's been multiple cameras on the same tree. I'll choose a different tree and set up right here, but somebody else knows about it, and hopefully when I go down further they are not set up over there. So is that a douchebag move? Leave it in the comments. I mean, the camera's only going to be up for 2 weeks, so is that a douchebag move? Let me know. So the water's right there, his cam's right there. I have chosen this tree. This is what I'm gonna hang the first camera on. It's a stealth cam. Had this for a few years now, but I have it at a slight angle because this is a drop off, and we're gonna try to get whatever's crossing right through here and come down from up there and come up from down there. You got water down in here, but this is the intersection of everything right here, and it seems like there's a lot of tracks in there in the water. A lot of elk and deer actually. We're gonna go with that placement and kind of give you a visual of what it'll be looking at. It'll be like that angle right there. So let's hope we can get something on there. Good luck, my friend. I do like this camera placement a lot just because it is an intersection. You have a trail that's going nuts in like 4 different ways up here. They can come from the top and then come from this side, and they can come back down here from the bottom and work their way up. There's a lot of tracks, a lot of sign in here. That's a good thing. We're gonna give this about, I think it's 16 days. 16 days, and hopefully we get something on it, and I'll be back here July 31st. Pick them up. Now we're gonna head down the creek bottom. Out over here is another little bench that I want to set up a camera on. We're gonna start heading this way. Alrighty, we got cam number 2 set right there on that tree. Hopefully we can get something. I have water down here in the bottom. It kind of spreads out. There's actually quite a bit of water down in there. I have a trail down here. I have a trail that goes up and around. I have this one that goes straight that way, and then there's another one that wraps around, and then there's trails all down through here and in the bottom. So I really think that cam is going to have some great success. Good luck, my friend. I wish you the best. I forgot to mention that I'm packing heat today because we're in cat and bear country, and I'll go ahead and play some clips. 2 years in a row we had a cat come up on that water, and so I just felt like I had to be safe today and just pack the old 9mm around just to make me feel at ease. Alright, I've chosen this spot for cam number 3. Have trail leading out this way. There's a little bit of water down the bottom over there. You have a trail leading out this way, and this is essentially what it's going to be looking at. But I cleared out a lot of the brush that was right here. Hopefully that will not impact the camera in a negative way. There's tracks all through here. There's poop all through here. Actually, my whole way coming down, there was a lot of poop. I learned my lesson. You always got to make sure that you got that tied up. So hopefully nothing really messes with that, but I have high hopes for this spot. As you can see, there's tracks, beds right there. There's more tracks and beds over here. They do use this, so hopefully in a couple weeks I can come back and there's something on this. I also like this spot too because it's a little bench that kind of traverses down into some water. But it's a nice little bedding bench right through here. So hopefully there's a lot of action in here. That would be lovely. I can't believe I found it. So right here, as you can see, there used to be some salt right there. Over the years they've just been digging at it. There's nothing there anymore, but at least they've been used to coming to this spot. I'm gonna set up on that tree. It'll be facing out that way. Maybe gotta get rid some of this sagebrush, some of these smaller little leaves that might set off the cam, but that's what we're looking at right there. I've never been out this way, but got some good glassing out over there and out over there in certain spots. I honestly think I'm gonna set it on this tree looking that way because I have a transition area right there and then one right behind me coming up right through here. This heads down into the bottom. There's water down there and there's water on this side supposedly. I don't know for sure, but this is kind of the north facing slope right here of everything. There's a lot of tracks in here and a lot of poop, and there's even another trail right there. So they're coming around this ridge right here, and it's kind of like a saddle right here, and it just seems like they're transitioning all through right here. So I'm gonna set up on this tree. Alrighty, she's all set. But this one I have set up just a little bit differently. This is taking 20-second video and only 15-second delay. I'd like to get some big bulls in here, or at least some bulls in this area, but that's where we're facing, out that way. And have trails all around me. Should be a good little camera. That is a good sign. Fresher elk poop right there. Even looks bigger, like bull. I like that. That's just up the ridge. Camera's back right down over here, just off the edge, couple 100 yards, but it's a good sign. Up here in this kind of open stuff. I like it. I think I'm going to choose that tree and clean up some of this. I have a trail going down there, trail going across, trail going up, and this is kind of the intersection. So I'm going to hang right here, and there's actually a bed right there, and there's poop right there. So they've been using this. See if we can find something on the cam right here. Alright, the final cam. Cam number 6 is finally up. Hopefully something walking through there, or down there, right through here. I am pumped to see what is going to be on that camera. Good luck, bud. Hoo-wee! Little bit of a butt kicker of a day. Did a little over 6 miles and set 6 trail cams, so I'm hoping that all those cams are going to be productive. I feel good about most of these areas. This last one, it's a little thick, a little steep, and it's on a south-facing slope. I don't know how I feel about that, but there was sign in there, and I feel that the animals are going to be moving around in there. There's water down here in the bottom. I'm glad that I could get out here and set some trail cams though, and let them marinate for the next 16 days and then come back and get them and just see what's in the area. Hopefully there's something on the camera. But if you guys would be on the lookout for a sale that's going to be happening, I'm coming up on 7 years full-time Rise and Shed here. July 18th is actually 7 years exactly that I've been doing my own thing full-time. So that's kind of crazy to even say that, and the only reason I get to say that is because of you guys. I seriously appreciate everything that you guys do. I appreciate all the support that you show me, my family, my business. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's just so greatly appreciated. I really can't do this without you guys. Without you guys spending your hard-earned money, this business doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just very appreciative, and I hope you guys know that. And if you guys would also check out Go Hunt. I've been rocking this Approach hoodie all year long, and it is money. I love this thing. It's been in the 90s all day today, and this has actually kept me somewhat cool, and I've been throwing my hood on when it's just been roasting in the sun, no clouds. And the thing that I love about this piece too is I've taken it through some very thick stuff, and it's handled like a champ. The only thing I have is like a small little tear right there, and that's it. But I've gone through oak brush, I've gone through some thick stuff, even today, gone through some thick stuff, and this thing has withstood everything thus far, besides that little guy. But we're not going to worry about that little guy. Not only does Go Hunt have awesome apparel, they have awesome mapping. I was on my maps all day today. I marked every trail cam, and I even marked some glassing knobs that you can see some country from, and hopefully I can glass up some elk. So be sure to check out the apparel and their mapping service. And there's a lot of hidden goodies in the mapping service, and they just came out with the weather report within their service. It's wild what's happening over there. So if you guys would, please go give that a look. So I just appreciate you guys for watching. I love you. We'll see you on the next one.